through the callback function, it will return only the details that are matching with your condition, and it will store them in this results. That means results array contains all the products. Now we need to print them. So we are using for, and we are using for var. Here we have item of results. We are not directly printing products. We are printing results because the results contain only the filtered products. And we are printing console.log. And here I want to print item name and hyphen. I want to print the item price. That's it. So this time you are searching for only name electronic products. Now this program should search for only electronic products and return electronic products. And when I run this, you can see here, when I compile and run this, you can see that it is returning only electronic products. That is Samsung and mobile. Of course, we will print the category name for a clarity here. So that means here we are using item dot category. So it can print the category name also, so that it will be more clear. You can see it is printing the category name. That means only electronic products are printed. Electronic products are printed. Suppose I want to print only shoe products. Only shoe products. Then how we can manage that? So how we can manage that? So for that, what we can do is here, just we need to change the category as footwear. So footwear, category as footwear. And let's run this and see. And it will return only footwear category related products, and only one is available. It will return it. How we can return multiple categories? Yeah, for that we need to use multiple conditions. Those type of conditions and situations you will come across later. Because for that we need to learn operators, we need to learn about statements, then we can manage such type of functionality. This type of manipulations are very important for people who are specially working with client-side data. And in our Angular, these type of logics are very regularly used. That's the reason our data will be always in JSON format. So we need to perfectly understand how to read the data, how to manipulate the data that is present in a JSON form. How we can add records, how we can remove, modify the records into JSON type is also important here. Initially, this is how we can read all the values and present all the values, right? How we can configure, read, and present the values. Filter function already we learned. So you are there in a filter function when we discuss it. In arrays, it's not a new concept. In array, we learned about filter function detailedly. Filter is a function which is used to extract only the values that are matching with given condition. So what this products, this is an array. In the array, we have several values. Every value, it will pass into search function. And search function, what it will do, it will collect that value. It will verify whether the value category is matching with footwear or not. If it is matching, then only it will return it. I hope you are there in that class, right? I showed you both functions. Please concentrate on that. I showed you both functions with the callback function. What is this search? Search is callback function is, na? What you are saying. Search is a callback function. Only the point is that I am not writing the function inside it. You know, JavaScript, we can write a function, we can call that function here, right? Or you can directly write the function here. I showed you both methods. If you were there in our arrays concept, I showed you both functions. We can write a function and we can call the function in array concept. Once observe, we learned about both things. And you know little bit JavaScript now, then you know that we can write a function and call a function or write the function directly here. What is in that? That is not a special thing to worry at all. I remove that and I copy that function. I can use that function here. Na? What is that? Callback function means it doesn't mean that you write there only, right? You can write a function and we can access the function. I showed you both techniques. I hope you haven't concentrated on that, right? I showed you both techniques. We can write the function inside it. One example I showed you with that. Another example I showed you how we can access that. When we learned about array related options, I uploaded into the GitHub once, verify those examples. I showed you we can write a function and we can access the function, right? So your question was, it was a callback function. Callback function means it is written as a function and called there. Okay, so let's see. This is one option. There is another technique usually we use for filtering or formatting the data actually. Filtering the data actually. So for that you need to understand, this is one example. That means you can write a separate function, you can call the function, or you can directly define the function here. And we are calling that function here. We are calling that function here. Yeah. So this is one example. There is another technique actually. So another technique, I will later explain you about functions in detail. Actually, we have lambda. So we have lambda expressions. We have lambda expressions and we have lambda functions actually. We have lambda expressions and lambda functions. So lambda is a short form of presenting the data. Lambda is a short form of presenting the data. It is a short form of presenting the data. Means actually it is a short form of representing your functions. Later we will have a separate discussion on those functions. And we can use this lambda, which will be more easier. Actually, suppose generally, even if you have learned in detail JavaScript and you are good in JavaScript, you know that generally when we write a function, so function name, and it's a return value, what it returns, a return value. The shortest way of writing this, means how we can write in a shortest way, is in a parenthesis implies, and this is equivalent to that. That means we can configure a function. So this is a function and which can return value, which can return the value. So you can write return value or directly the return value can be configured inside it. Now this is a lambda expression. We generally call as arrow functions also. Later in a functions concept, we will discuss in TypeScript detailedly about that. And there you will understand what is a function, what is a method. So different names are there. We will understand about them in later stage. Actually, we can use that for making this filtering and sorting and more easier. We don't need to write even this function